when silence speaks louder than words, when freedom becomes a whisper in the middle of fame. That's where this story begins. Welcome back to Jikook News, where every heartbeat in the BTS universe turns into meaning, and every quiet step hides a truth waiting to be heard. Tonight, we uncover the untold chapter that shook the fandom. The day Jimin and Jungkook quietly walked away from the world spotlight and changed everything. The sky over Munich that afternoon looked heavy, as if it could feel the strange silence that wrapped the city. The wind carried the scent of rain and coffee through narrow European streets, and under that calm, two figures walked side by side. Park Jimin and Jungkook, faces half covered by sunglasses, hearts completely exposed to the weight of what they were about to do. They weren't just leaving a city, they were leaving a system, and the world, though it didn't know yet, was about to witness one of the most honest acts of rebellion in K-pop history. For days, fans had whispered about them being seen in Germany, in a small cafe in Munich, by a lake in Bavaria, in the middle of a rainy night filled with soft laughter and shadows. Each sighting turned into a clue, each photo into a storm, and while HYBE remained silent, the world kept talking. Because silence, when it comes from people like Jimin and Jungkook, is never just silence, it's a message. At first, the rumor was simple. Two BTS members traveling abroad, maybe for rest, maybe for something private. But when cameras caught their reflections at Munich airport, the story transformed into wildfire. There was no official statement, no staff, no schedule. It was as if they had stepped out of the machine that made them. And for once, they were just two young men, not idols, not global icons, walking freely, chasing something that felt like breathing. The internet exploded. Hashtags like #Jikook in Germany and #Freedom for Jimin and Jungkook filled global trends. Fans cheered, others worried, and still HYBE said nothing. But that silence made everything louder. Korean media questioned the company's decision. Had they gone without permission? Did HYBE know? Until finally, a leak from the entertainment industry revealed something shocking, that HYBE initially denied their request to travel together, citing concerns over security and image. That revelation broke the wall. Fans called it unfair, calling for accountability, reminding everyone that Jimin and Jungkook were humans, not machines. And for the first time in years, the agency had to bow. HYBE released a rare statement. "We admit our decision was too strict. We recognize the need for balance between work and personal life. We apologize for any misunderstanding." That sentence, "We admit we were wrong," echoed through the fandom like thunder. It wasn't just about a trip. It was about freedom. Back in Munich, fans spotted them one last time, sitting by the river, laughing quietly, sharing a cup of hot chocolate. Jungkook smiled. Jimin kept looking at the sky. They looked peaceful, almost too peaceful, as if they knew that when their plane landed back in Seoul, the world would never see them the same way again. As they approached the airport, flashes began to follow them again. Jungkook, in a long black coat, turned once to check if Jimin was behind him. Jimin, wearing a soft gray scarf, met his eyes. No words, only that look. And in that moment, a camera caught it. One photo that would circle the world within minutes. #Jikook back to Korea. Thousands of fans reposted the image, flooding timelines with messages of love. "They deserve peace. Thank you for showing us what real courage looks like." But back in Seoul, the silence shifted again. Reports surfaced that HYBE was holding an emergency internal meeting, a discussion on artist privacy and creative independence. A Korean journalist wrote, "If two of the world's biggest artists have to hide just to rest, something in the system is broken." When their plane finally touched down in Seoul, something felt different. There were no heavy guards, no blocked lanes. HYBE let the moment unfold, as if to say, "This time we'll stay quiet." Jimin waved softly toward the crowd, his lips forming a silent thank you. Jungkook didn't say a word, but his eyes held something powerful. Pride, calm, victory. News outlets across Asia and Europe lit up. Rolling Stone and Billboard published features titled, "Jimin and Jungkook changed the game again." And one German journalist wrote, "It's the most human thing two superstars have ever done. To to choose stillness in a world that never stops. But perhaps the most touching part of the story came from a small voice, an airport staff member who saw them before takeoff. "Jimin wrote something in his notebook," she said. He smiled, then closed it. Jungkook looked over and said quietly, "One day we'll tell them everything." That line, "One day we'll tell them everything," now echoes in every corner of the fandom. Because maybe, just maybe, this isn't the end of their story. This was never about rebellion. It was about reclaiming the right to be human, to laugh, to walk, to breathe, without permission. As their flight soared into the night sky above Munich, fans around the world began an online project. #ThankYou Jikook, a 5-minute tribute video showing every stolen moment of their trip. Rain-soaked walks, quiet dinners, train windows reflecting their laughter. It went viral in hours. Comments flooded in. They reminded us that freedom is love. It's not about rumors. It's about living honestly. HYBE's acknowledgement marked a turning point in the entire entertainment industry. Analysts called it the start of a new era for artist independence. And it all began with two people who simply wanted to be themselves. Because that's what makes Jimin and Jungkook different. They don't fight the system with words, they change it with action. And in doing so, they didn't just inspire fans, they redefined what it means to be free under fame. As their plane landed and the Seoul air met their faces, they didn't need to say anything. The world already knew. They won not by shouting, but by being human. Their story reminds us all. Sometimes the quietest moments carry the loudest meaning. Sometimes the smallest steps change everything. And sometimes, two hearts walking through a foreign city can make the whole world believe in freedom again. That's the thing about Jimin and Jungkook. They don't just perform on stage. They live like stories. Every glance, every silence, becomes poetry that transcends borders and language. They teach us that fame doesn't have to erase humanity, and that even under the brightest spotlight, you can still choose to walk your own path. And maybe that's why the world never stops watching them. Not because they're perfect, but because they're real. They stumble, they fall, they rise again, hand in hand with the same sincerity that first made millions fall in love with BTS. So as night falls over Seoul and the city lights mirror the soft glow of Munich's rain, remember this: freedom begins the moment you stop asking for permission to be yourself. This is Jikook News, the heartbeat of every real story in the BTS universe. If this story touched you, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Because every silence has a story, and every story has a truth that deserves to be heard. Until next time, keep your heart open, your mind curious, and your love endless. Because the story of Jimin and Jungkook is far from over.